Good evening. Welcome to State of Business on our television. I'm Ashin Sani Veerasinghe. Let's have a look at the headlines for today. UNP always backed abolishing executive presidency, but this is not the right time, says UNP parliamentarian. Current government's approach to international relations is ad hoc, says former Foreign Secretary. News in detail. Addressing a media briefing this morning at Temple Trees, parliamentarian Kavinda Jayawardena states that the United National Party was always in line of abolishing executive presidency, but not in an emergency situation just before the upcoming presidential elections.
Yesterday, there was an emergency cabinet meeting. As you know, the cabinet can be called by Honorable President. So His Excellency the President is the one who have called the cabinet meeting yesterday, and he is the one who wanted to abolish the presidency. So clearly that in policy, UMP always have told that we want to abolish the presidency, but not in an emergency matter. So likewise, today, His Excellency the President was summoned for the Parliamentary Select Committee regarding the Easter Sunday attack. But I am very disheartened the fact that he couldn't appear in front of the Select Committee at the Parliament. Instead, he have summoned the Select Committee members to the Presidential Secretariat. So I think the Easter Sunday attack has to be investigated, and we have requested from the President to appoint a Presidential Committee. In writing, we have given him that. So we are very disheartened that His Excellency the President yet haven't done that.
Diplomat and former Secretary to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs Dr. Palitha Kohona highlights that current government's approach to international relations is unappreciable. Addressing a media briefing organised by Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna last morning, Dr. Kohona also noted that dismissing the immense assistance rendered by China to Sri Lanka is unhealthy.
Since in 2015, the country's approach to international relations has been anything but ad hoc, and which is a deep disappointment for people like me who have been in this field for a long time. To begin with, in 2015, we decided, for reasons which I cannot understand even to this day, that we will upset China. And China, mind you, not only had it helped us subsequently economically, during the war it was our steadfast friend, because Chinese assistance was essential for Sri Lanka to continue its campaign against the terrorist LTTE. Prior to that, they also extended financial assistance to us to recover from the suffering, that economic suffering that we had undergone during the war. You can see for yourself, during that period, in a short space of 5 years, we built new roads, airports, harbors, and many other things.
The 6th edition of Top German Brands 2019 was held on last Wednesday at Colombo in presence of Minister of Development Strategies and International Trade Malik Samaravikrama, German Ambassador to Sri Lanka and Maldives John Rode, and many other distinguished invitees. 144 German brands represented in the 6th edition of Top German Brands Sri Lanka. The event was organized by the Delegation of German Industry and Commerce in Sri Lanka with the support of the German Embassy. During the event, the participants from Top German Brands had the opportunity to showcase their striking innovations in a promotional film series, and a jury selected 10 companies. Thus, Best Award video was from Germany's world market leader in industrial gases, Lind, followed by Audi and DHL. Chief Delegate of German Industry and Commerce in Sri Lanka, Andreas Hergenrother, in his speech mentioned that as the logistics hub in South Asia and future trade hub, Sri Lanka has the potential to offer more business opportunities than ever in the future. Meanwhile, addressing the event Top German Brands 2019, Minister of Development Strategies and International Trade Malik Samaravikrama highlighted the positive impact of the long-standing German-Sri Lankan business relations have helped to increase the Sri Lankan exports to Germany.
Sri Lanka exports has increased by 9.2% during the first half of 2018, and our global exports have increased by 6.6%, so our increase exports to Germany is above the average. And your exports from Germany to Sri Lanka has increased by 4%. And Andreas mentioned that you have a trade surplus. You can see there's clearly a steady uptick in bilateral trade between our two countries. But I believe we should be able to achieve much higher trade volume between our two countries. So we should work harder and see where we can do business together.
Stay tuned for more news after this short break. Welcome back after the break. India's Bharat Petroleum Corporation gained lubricant market share in Sri Lanka in the second quarter of 2019, overtaking state-owned Ceylon Petroleum Corporation, with Chevron Lubricants remaining market leader. The Public Utilities Commission of Sri Lanka announced that Chevron Lubricants' market share rose to 40.88% during the second quarter of this year from 38.46% from the same period last year accordingly. In 2018, Chevron's market share was down to 37.32% from 39.98% in 2017. Petroleum Corporation has won several tenders to supply lubricants to state-owned power stations and transport services in 2019. One of the biggest gainers during the quarter was from Bharat Petroleum Limited, whose market share increased to 6.79% from 5.14% a year earlier. The state-owned Ceylon Petroleum Corporation lost its market share to Bharat Petroleum Limited, failing to 5.29% from 5.9% in 2018 second quarter. Currently, 13 operators compete in Sri Lanka's lubricant market and are authorized to import, export and sell lubricants, with only 3 authorized to blend lubricants. Country's one of the premier management quiz programs, the CMI Quiz Challenge 2019, organized by the Chartered Management Institute, will be held in Colombo on October 23rd under the guidance of CMI Senior Vice President Kaushal Rajapaksa. The main objective of holding this annual quiz challenge, which has been conducted by CMI since 2014, is to enhance the professional standards of Sri Lankan managers and related executive officials attached to public and private sector organizations, and also to develop their skills as well as competencies. According to the rules and regulations, 40 teams will take part in the quiz competition, and each team will consist of 5 members. The teams could be registered in the fields of banking, finance and insurance, telecom and IT, manufacturing, apparel and textile, FMCG and retails, food and beverage, hospitality and leisure, and many other special categories. CMI Quiz Project Chairman Rohit Amarapala said the quiz would be structured on management and leadership, business management, corporate governance, general knowledge, current affairs and sports. Now a review on the Colombo stock market performances for the past week, and a stock forecast for the coming week will be brought to you by a subject expert at First Capital Holdings.
The market had a dull sentiment this week, with the overall market witnessing declines on a daily basis, except on Thursday, where we saw a bit of buying interest with retail activity that took place. Turnover levels were moderate around the 500 million mark, except on Tuesday, where on Tuesday we saw number of large crossings take place in overseas reality, boosting turnover to over 4 billion rupees. The transaction was identified to be a foreign to foreign trade. The week experienced foreign outflows on a continuous basis, increasing the month to date net outflow to over 1.2 billion rupees, and the year-to-date outflow was around 2.5 billion rupees. The overall activity in the market was noted to be on a downward trend, with Friday actually recording the lowest level of activity. Looking at the coming week, the prevailing political turbulence that is there in the government, it is likely to uphold a wait-and-see approach among investors. The positivity that arises from the announcement of the presidential election is unlikely to materialize until the major political parties confirm their candidates. We expect the overall activity to remain low, while foreigners are likely to continue to to be on the selling side. We may see some bargain hunting on selected counters, which may actually put the turnover levels on check, where we think there could be turnover levels coming up to moderate levels around the 500 to 600 million mark.
Stay tuned for stock updates after this short break. Welcome back after the break. Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on a negative note today. The all-share price index dropped 17.15 points to close at 5,793.89, and the S&P SL 20 dropped 20.89 points to close at 2,766. The turnover was 542 million rupees and over 22 million shares were traded. Up next are forex rates. That's all the news for today. Join us tomorrow on Biz Roundup. Until then, take care.